I like the fact that the very first passage we deal with is an ainos, that is to say, an elusive way of speaking where you really have to have the mental and the moral and the emotional qualifications to get it. You have already had a lot of experience in reading this form of discourse, and I think you'll be fascinated with how you understand the overall plot of the Agamemnon much better by way of being able to read such short microcosmic exercises in what the overall meaning really is. And that's what this ainos about the lion cub really is. It is an exercise in understanding the whole picture, an exercise already for the ancient audience. Another wonderful thing about this play is that, as we see in our 16 text B, there is a summary of everything that leads up to the action of this particular drama. So in other words, the pressure is off us because we're already getting the background, and in fact even the ancient audience already got the background. And what I just said applies also to our 16 text C, where again, as the story is sung and danced by the chorus, we get a very good idea about the background. The way the tragedy begins, which I show you in the close reading that I label our 16 text D, shows you that the audience, or may I say it this way, the civic group that is participating in this tragedy is really expected to be very alert to the moral message that is about to happen. The text is coded, as it were, for special understanding. So again, I feel very good about the way we've already trained ourselves to be alert to such kind of language, which involves reading symbols. Another example of a very short passage within a very narrow framework really gives a very good idea of the broad picture of not only the Agamemnon as one tragedy, but the set of three tragedies that we know as the Oresteia trilogy. And it has to do with contemplating what the sea is as a natural resource. And when it comes to coded language, our 16 text F is a gem, and these words are spoken by the figure of Cassandra, one of the most interesting and engaging of all female heroes that we will be encountering in this project. And the final passage that I give you, text G, is likewise, I think, a beautifully coded way of looking at the big picture, where we see the problems of morality that keep coming up in the heroic age. And here in this medium of tragedy, they all seem to come together in a very artistically controlled and beautiful way.